Yeah.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Boy, the government just doesn't want to stop overreaching, do they? When we talk about overreach, most people go all the way back to the pandemic. In fact, government overreach is what started Unacceptable Fringe in the first place. If you think back to the pandemic, and some of us don't want to, and we go back to lockdowns, we go back to nobody allowed to see their family on holidays, people allowed not really to leave their house in general. You can't go to playgrounds with your children. You couldn't go to restaurants. You couldn't go to movie theaters. You basically had to stop living and comply with the government. The old 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Well, speaking of 2 weeks, I did a video last week talking about a water main break that was going on in Calgary, and we're going to get into that because, well, the same kind of blueprints are coming into place. And while municipal politics in Calgary don't really affect people on the East Coast or even central Canada, these are the blueprints of not elected, but installed mayors that are claimed to be elected, bringing them to a city near you. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of our freedoms and government overreach, our newest merch, straight out of freedom, hoodies, t-shirts, we've got coffee mugs, stickers. It's all in our spread shop. You can click on our store link down below. They are on sale for the first 48 hours that they've launched. I launched them last night at the time I'm filming of this video. You can see also Pierre Poilievre's Straight Outta Money, Axe the Tax, available on the shop as well. 2 new designs that are available in different, we've got hoodies, t-shirts, again, women's v-necks, mugs, all sorts of stuff. Make sure to go and check out what's available on our Spreadshirt. Again, store link is down below. It supports the channel, it supports us, and gets you guys something in the process. So it's always appreciated when you guys do that. Now, when I talk about plans that are coming through and where things are headed, we talked again about this water main break in Calgary. It's been going on for about a week and a half now. And now, of course, the same old rollout that we saw during the pandemic of, hey guys, we all got to pull together. We all got to do our part. We all got to get involved. It's important to note that Jyoti Gondek wasn't really available at the first portion of this tragedy or travesty. I guess 60% of the water that Calgary uses comes through this pipe. And granted, it mostly services the north end of town. When you look at the south end of town in Calgary, we have what's called the Glenmore Reservoir that provides water. And I know that right now the reservoir is providing water for the whole city outside of this travesty. Now, I've had a lot of people on the last video saying, well, Derek, you don't understand how it works. I do understand, and I do get what this is about. However, it's the bigger risk that comes to play that I warned about in that video that is now more relevant than ever. That this was, I'm not suggesting, again, that the mayor did this out of spite or to bring up World Economic Forum style issues, but was merely using this as the launching pad for future restrictions on Calgarians. There had been rumor for months, since all the way back to February, I believe, that Jyoti Gondek, or at least strong rumors that Jyoti Gondek was going to restrict water use come summertime for Calgarians. And just so happened that this water main break piles out and people are told, don't shower, don't do your laundry, don't do your dishes, don't basically anything that needs water. However, businesses, restaurants, they're still open. Car washes are still open. Everybody else, it's business as usual. Rules for thee, not for me. If you think the mayor is not showering, if you think the mayor is not doing her dishes or her laundry, I can assure you she would claim, well, I'm the mayor. I have to have clean clothes. I have to do meetings. I have to be in public all the time. I must do these things or else I'm unpresentable. The excuses are overwhelmingly prevalent. But what we're seeing here is an update saying, with your help, Calgary, we're making progress repairing the water feeder main break. Some of what you can see. Now, I'm going to just play this video showing just the size of this pipe again. It's not a typical water main. Again, 60% of Calgary's water comes from this pipe. You could probably drive a vehicle through that pipe. It's so large. However, this is... Now, I'm pausing right here because, again, I want to play devil's advocate here. This is a very small section of pipe, and while it's people say it's frost, it's a number of different things causing it. When you raise property taxes almost 9%, when you're taking more money from people and spending millions of dollars on beauty projects for the city in terms of artwork and multi-million dollar plebiscites to ask people what they feel about blanket re-up zoning, even though You're not going to do anything about it, despite 70% of the city not getting on board with it. It's just wasted money. And what I see here is a lack of resources, a lack of staff, a lack of professionals that could fix this in an adequate amount of time. We are almost 2 weeks out. Now, even once this is fixed, of course, we're being told, hey, it's not over, right? Just like, again, during pandemic times, hey, we think we have a cure, but it's still not done, ladies and gentlemen. We still have to do our part. We're being told, well, we'll still need time for water to get back up to code and everything else. And again, before you jump down my throat, I understand it's not as easy as flicking a switch. However, what comes to light now is this article from City News saying Calgary is now to consider permanent watering schedule. This should raise red flags immediately. Again, with the circulated rumors of Jyoti Gondek restricting water back in February, in the middle of winter. We had considerable snowfall in Calgary this year. The mountains are still littered with snow. That all melts at some point and comes downstream to Calgary. We've had rain throughout April and May and into June. But again, Jyoti Gondek still saying, well, we're going to restrict water usage. I'm going to go over this article and then give my 2 cents on this. It says, once the city comes out on the other side of the water crisis prompted by a feeder main break in Bowness last week, the schedule for when Calgarians can water their lawn may be forever changed. Calgary's executive committee is making tweaks to a bylaw Tuesday that could lead to the permanent watering schedule. If council approves changes, Calgarians may only be allowed to use outdoor sprinklers 2 days per week, up to 3 hours overnight between 8 and 10 a.m. However, watering gardens by hand may continue any time of the day. A 2021 survey on drought resilience found that 7 in 10 Calgary residents showed strong support for outdoor watering schedule. Again, I'd like to know who those people were, because here's the problem. 9% increase in taxes. And now you're going to tell me what I can and can't do on my property. That's a huge problem. Again, if we're in a drought, if there's big problems going on, I can temporarily see what's going on. But anytime the government is asking for more power, this should raise red flags. There's a reason we have rules in our constitutions and our laws and our charters that say government shouldn't have too much power. It says here, a 2021 survey on drought resilience found 7 in 10 Calgarians showed strong support again for outdoor and watering schedules. Seasonal demand pressure placed strain on infrastructure and rivers, and while this means a change in habits, the city says the tweaks will help support water conservation as a normal part of everyday life. Well, this is how it starts. We're going to limit how much you can water your lawn. Then it's now we're going to limit how much you can do your laundry, how much you can wash your dishes. Get rid of your dishwashers. Do them by hand. We're going to limit really anything that comes with water. How often you can flush. Like this is absurd, especially with the increase in taxes. The city says that it's aware the water use restrictions can have disproportionate economic impacts on certain industries like landscaping and construction. But as Calgary grows exponentially, the city has committed to reducing its water consumption by 30% over 30 years and says it has achieved the target 10 years ahead of schedule. Administration will continue to update the water efficiency plan for 2025. Here's the problem. The reason Calgary's continuing to growing, again, we've talked about immigration, we've talked about our open borders and bringing all these people in. Maybe it's time to start saying, if we can't handle the numbers, we start telling people to go. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I think. Again, if you're going to charge people tax, typically your taxes should be going to developments in expanding your resources, into expanding your availability. When you're building these brand new neighborhoods, all of these things should be considered. What is people's water consumption? How much trash and litter are we adding? Do we need more landfills? Anytime you expand a city, Calgary is one of the largest cities in terms of land use, spread out over a landmass in Canada. And I don't know about you guys, but this just sounds hogwash to me in order to convince people, hey, just give us some more power. Give us the rights to restrict what you can and can't do in your own free country. Left-wing, WEF-style politics. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with a watering schedule? Do you agree with being told you can't take care of your lawn? You can't garden the way you want to? That everything must be done by hand. And even then, that's just the start of the restrictions. Guys, it's the blueprint. We saw this during pandemic. It started out with 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Then it ended with, we're going to arrest you if you have people over at Christmas time. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave me your comments down below if you think this is going to come to other cities, if you think this is just the start. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to ensure that you're alerted whenever our new videos drop here on the channel almost daily. Also, don't forget to join us live on the channel every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, where we go over a little bit of what's happened in politics, a little bit of what's coming up ahead, and some back and forth within our community. We'll definitely be talking about this subject this week and hearing your feedback, and I always look forward to hearing what you guys have to say outside of making these videos. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.